Good evening and welcome back to another edition of Penn State Sports Night. I'm Lexy Leidlein alongside Chast and Andrew Destin to break down last Saturday's football game against Michigan. So guys, this Saturday, Penn State's 4 running backs had 13 carries total, while quarterback Sean Clifford led the team with 11. Is this a problem for Penn State moving forward?
I think it absolutely is. I mean, you look at the 4 running backs. Noah Cain was somebody who was coming off back-to-back 100-yard rushing games, yet he only mustered 5 carries, all coming in the second half. You look at Journey Brown, who is the starting running back. He only had 4 carries on the night total. You look at other players too. Devin Ford, who had 1 carry. He's got his red shirt burned, so he's going to pretty much have to play the rest of the year. And Ricky Slade led the team in carries, or rather led the team in yards, had 48 yards total, but only 3 carries for him. So I think Coach Ricky Ronnie and James Franklin, the entire staff, they have to figure out who the running back is going to be moving forward. I thought we had this problem kind of sorted out after Noah Cain broke out against Purdue and Iowa respectively, but from what I've seen, against Michigan, I think they still have a lot of figuring out to do on their offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, I would absolutely agree with you. They are mishandling their running backs, and I think misusing their quarterback, Sean Clifford. Now, to start with Sean, he's in the game for his arm. That's why he won this job. That's why he's a good quarterback. When it comes to an option run, yes, I like the idea, and it helps him escape when maybe the pocket's collapsing and he extends the play. But if they have this group of 4 talented running backs like they believe they do, they should be getting the touches. Now, Noah Cain should be the primary back, and I believe he already is. He leads the team with 62 carries and 6 touchdowns. So he already has assumed that role, but it seems we're asking the same question every week of why is he not the go-to back? Now, I do think Penn State, they can do a 3 running back committee, but not a 4. So I think Journey Brown can suffice as that second go-to running back when Noah Cain needs some time off. And I do believe Ricky Slade, you saw his explosiveness and his speed, is good to come and fill in as a occasional back when they need to switch up of the offense and to make plays. But right now, what they're doing with this offense is it's relying too much on Clifford's legs and not the 4 talented running backs' legs that they have.
You two certainly have a lot to say about the Nittany Lions running back stable. On the flip side, let's take a look at Penn State's highly regarded defense. What did you two see from them against Michigan?
Well, without a doubt, the secondary has been questionable. There was a bunch of missed open field tackles and just blown coverages. But overall, I think they played a pretty good game. In the first half, they allowed only 1 touchdown while forcing an interception, a turnover on downs, and a way short field goal attempt. That's pretty impressive for what Michigan is a very talented team. And in the second half, I blame the offense for the way Penn State's defense played. They were fatigued. Now, Penn State's offense in the second half, you take out the KJ Hamler touchdown. They had 4 drives that were 4 plays or less, all 2.5 minutes or less. That's a lot of time out in the field for any defense in this league. And it's no question that they were starting to get fatigued and slow down, especially when Shea Patterson, who, to his credit, is a bit of an elusive quarterback and was extending plays and making that defense have to work more and more throughout the game. So I'd say for the way that they played and the way that the offense played in the second half, they did a pretty solid job.
I think you touched on a good point there talking about Penn State's defensive fatigue, and I think that really showed on the front 7. This is a unit that came in only allowing 1 rushing touchdown on the entire season. And look what they did against Michigan Saturday. Gave up 3 rushing touchdowns, 1 on the quarterback sneak to Shea Patterson, and they got outgained by 125 yards. Michigan, albeit they weren't able to come up with the drop in the end zone on 4th and goal, but still, got over 400 yards of total offense. Penn State was below 300. I think this was more of an indictment on Penn State's defensive front 7 maybe not being as good as we thought they were. Obviously, still an elite top 10 type of unit, 3rd in scoring defense, 4th in sacks and tackles for loss, but albeit they're not as impenetrable as we once thought.
Outside of each team's play, what did we see from a Big Ten officiating crew that drew some critique for its calls throughout?
I think it grew a lot of criticism from the Penn State side, and there's some reason behind that. Penn State had 4 pass interference calls, and Michigan had 2, but other than that, I was satisfied with the officiating crew. I thought on 3rd and goal, when Michigan looked like that they had run it in, and the referees signaled that it was not, that they were stopped short. And then conversely, in the next play, when it was 4th and goal, Penn State the student section, they thought that they had stopped him short. But then the officiating crew, of course, overturned that as well and signaled that it was a touchdown. They went to the replay review and said that the call stands. So I think that the officials, they did a good enough job. I think a lot of fans are going to critique them no matter what, whether Penn State wins or not. But aside from the pass interference calls, which probably were in the right, Jim Harbaugh post-game was quoted as saying that his guys were pretty much being tackled on every offensive play. So I think the officials did a pretty good job.
I'd say this was another questionable game for the officiating crew. I never want to criticize the refs, but there seemed to be in the first half a lot of missed calls. In the second half, a lot of calls going against Penn State that just didn't seem to be necessary. With that said, this does beg the question that is it the officiating or is it Penn State? This is now 2 back-to-back games against tough opponents where the officiating is coming to question. Is it really the calls or is it Penn State's sloppiness when it comes to playing a really good team?
I think you both touched on very important points. Can't wait to watch the Saturday play in East Lansing. Well, that's all we have for this segment of Penn State football. For Noah Chast and Andrew Destin, I'm Lexy Leidlein. Thanks for watching and have a great night. Thank you for watching our latest edition of Penn State Sports Night. If you're a fan of our content, please be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more clips. Also follow us on Twitter at PSSNTV and on Instagram at PSU Sports Night to keep up with the action. For all my colleagues, we are Penn State Sports Night.